Exclusive contracted novel by Feilu Novel Network. I am a science popularization elf, creating a new era. Lin Hao traveled to an urban world where elves had just arrived. But people in this world don't know about the situation with elves, and instead treat them as terrifying monsters invading the world. The timid little Lada is called a killer rat with sharp teeth. Has the gentle and cute little fire dragon become a fire monster that controls flames? Fat Ding, who loves singing, has become a soul-grabbing hell monster. In the face of this completely distorted understanding, in order to avoid deeper misunderstandings between humans and elves, Lin Hao, who activated the science popularization system, resolutely embarked on a journey of live science popularization elves. With his continuous popularization, people gradually understood the true situation of elves. Originally, these creatures that came upon us were not so-called ferocious beasts, but powerful and kind elves. The past misunderstandings and hatred gradually dissipated, and elves began to enter people's lives. Trainers, breeders, elf competitions. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Elves Invading Reality. Seeking Data. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Elves Invading Reality. Now start broadcasting the next news. According to the latest news, there have been a large number of incidents of warcraft attacking humans in the southern coastal areas today. Although the authorities have organized personnel to fight against the crackdown as soon as possible, due to the excessive number of warcraft, there is still no sign of the situation calming down by the time of publication, and instead it has escalated. According to preliminary statistics, the number of casualties among ordinary people has reached 1150, and official personnel have suffered heavy losses. On TV, a female news anchor is reporting on the latest events. Lin Hao sat on the sofa and watched quietly, feeling a blur in his mind. What's going on? Warcraft. Attacking humans. When will there be warcraft in this world? Also, wasn't I walking on the road just now? Why did you suddenly enter the room? Countless thoughts flashed through his mind in an instant. In order to confirm that everything in front of him was not an illusion, Lin Hao even pinched his thigh secretly. Pain. It's not a dream. After looking at the surroundings and watching the TV broadcast, many memories suddenly flooded into my mind. The next moment, a strange expression appeared on his face. It can be confirmed that he has traveled through time. Although this matter may seem somewhat mysterious no matter how one looks at it, as an otaku who has read countless YY novels, he quickly accepted this fact. Thinking of this, Lin Hao immediately turned his gaze to the news on TV. Just now, he thought this so-called news broadcast was in a movie. But as some inexplicable memories surged through his mind, he realized that the news before him was not a movie, but rather official news. So, is the Warcraft attack true? Thinking of this, Lin Hao's expression suddenly became even more peculiar. The reason why he had that idea earlier was mainly because the Warcraft that appeared in the news gave him an extremely familiar feeling. Isn't this the Pokémon from previous anime? Lin Hao looked at the footage playing in the news and became more and more certain in his heart. Bowly Dragon, Spitfire Dragon, Bada Butterfly. He is extremely familiar with every so-called Warcraft. As for why these elves are called Warcraft, Lin Hao also learned from his predecessor's memory. Everything has to start from 3 months ago. The original development trajectory of this world is similar to his previous world, but the difference is that 3 months ago, many spatial cracks suddenly appeared in this world. No one knows the reasons for those spatial cracks, they are almost everywhere in the world. And these so-called Warcraft have descended into this world through those cracks. Although this world is similar to Lin Hao's original world, there is no such thing as Pokémon anime. That's why people in this world don't know those elves, which is why they are called Warcraft. Because each Warcraft possesses unimaginable strange powers, coupled with its sudden appearance, people are preconceived that they have been invaded in the fear of the unknown. If there is invasion, there will naturally be resistance. Driven by strong hostility, in order to drive away and eliminate warcraft, stabilize public emotions, and protect their own world, countries have begun to respond. Troops were dispatched one after another to confront warcraft. However, the result was somewhat unsatisfactory. Those so-called warcraft not only have a large number, but each one has unique powers, and the human army is not an enemy at all. Over the past 3 months, the vast majority of battles have ended in human defeat. Every time it comes with a large number of casualties. It can be said that they are in an absolute disadvantage. Recalling the information in his mind, Lin Hao's expression became even more peculiar. Did this even start fighting? Are you joking, being enemies with elves? He is well aware of the personalities and powers of those elves, also known as warcraft. The vast majority of elves are not inherently bad, and there is no such thing as invading the world. It is completely possible to coexist peacefully. Or rather, we can only coexist peacefully with it. Lin Hao was well aware that although this world was similar to his original one, with various high-tech weapons, it was far from enough to be seen in front of the powerful elves. If there were to be a full-scale conflict, the ultimate result would be a disastrous defeat for humanity, without even thinking about it. Not to mention, there are also some extremely powerful divine beasts among the elves. Faced with those divine beasts in charge of official positions, even the most powerful weapons have no chance of winning. Once they are angered, whether the world can still exist is an unknown number. That is not a force that humans can resist at all. Thinking of this, Lin Hao couldn't help but shiver. Fortunately, based on the information currently available, people in this world have not yet begun to be enemies with divine beasts. Otherwise, the consequences would be severe. When Lin Hao thought of the terrifying scenes in his previous anime, which could be described as devastating, he felt a chill in his back. Good guy, if I don't do something, I'm afraid I'll have to be buried with you. From the currently known information, all countries regard elves as enemies invading the world. The battle between the two sides is intensifying. If we continue like this, it will only be a matter of time before we can confront the divine beast. We have to do something now. Looking at the news still being broadcasted, Lin Hao silently pondered in his heart. At the very least, people in this world should have a correct understanding of elves and not be blindly hostile towards them. Otherwise, if the struggle continues, neither side can reconcile. By the nature of elves, as long as humans are willing to coexist peacefully with them, let alone fight, both sides can even become partners. This is completely a war caused by misunderstanding. However, although I have such thoughts in my heart, it is not easy to truly achieve this. After all, the struggle between humans and elves has been ongoing for several months. An ordinary person who is nothing suddenly jumped out and said that both sides should coexist peacefully. Who cares about him? Not taking him to a mental hospital would be considered good. We still need to consider in the long run. After rejecting several proposals in his mind, Lin Hao immediately rubbed his brow with some headache and then swallowed his breath. What kind of thing is this? Others traveling through time are either nobles or aristocrats, just consider how to enjoy life. In this journey, one must consider how to save the world. God has no eyes. Just as Lin Hao was still pouring bitterness into his heart, a voice suddenly rang out in his mind. Ding! Detected that the host has the will to save the world, meets the conditions, ding. The system has been activated, PS. New book set sale, kneeling for flowers, evaluation tickets, collection, tipping, kneeling for everything. Chapter 2. Obtain Superpower. Seeking support. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Obtain Superpower. The sudden sound plunged Lin Hao into a brief daze. After coming to his senses, a hint of surprise appeared in his eyes. System. As a qualified otaku, he has read many YY novels. Don't be too clear about what the system is. That's a must-have for reaching the pinnacle of life. When heaven is about to place a great responsibility on a person, he must first make his mind and will suffer and strain his bones and muscles. The ancients never deceived me. Suppressing the surprise in his heart, Lin Hao immediately activated the system by asking. Although the sound did not come out again, an additional interface appeared in his mind out of thin air. At the top of the interface, there are several large characters. Science Popularization Elf System, Science Elves. What kind of thing? Lin Hao continued to look at it with a bewildered expression on his face. There is a row of small characters below. Host can obtain various rewards and unlimited science popularization points by educating others about the relevant knowledge of elves. Note: the higher the acceptance level of science popularization objects towards elves, the more science popularization points the host obtains. The lower the acceptance level, the less science popularization points the host obtains. Science popularization point. Essential items for lottery and reward exchange in the mall lottery. And a shopping mall. Seeing this, Lin Hao's eyes suddenly lit up with a hint of brilliance. With a slight movement of thought, a new interface appeared in his mind. Unlike the previous introduction interface, this interface is filled with small grids, each containing the same item. After only a brief glance, Lin Hao's breathing became heavy. Fire Stone. A stone that allows certain specific elves to evolve and possesses strange powers. Need science popularization points. 10,000 points. Dragon Teeth. Carrying it can greatly enhance the power of dragon-style moves. Need science popularization points. 30,000 points. There are plenty of items to choose from. It can be said that basically any prop that Lin Hao can think of can be found for sale in this mall. There are even some things with incredible effects. For example, something lower. Fragments of Superpower Law. After use, it can help Superpower elves understand the power of the law and greatly enhance their strength. Heavenly King Fruit. After use, it can directly increase the strength of elves to the Heavenly King level. Looking at these things, Lin Hao swallowed his saliva to himself. Good guy, if he were to replace everything in the mall, he could confidently say that even if he were given a Bada die, he might be able to cultivate it to the level of a divine beast. These are all really good things. Of course, what really made him breathe heavily was the row of things located at the bottom of the mall. To be precise, that's not something, but a series of elves. Elves that can be exchanged in the mall. Emperor Yen. Legendary elf, one of the Phoenix King Guard, said to be able to spew flames hotter than magma. Need science popularization points. 500 million. Guladu. A super ancient elf with powerful control over light and heat, said to be the creator of land. Need for popular science points. 5 billion Palukia. A divine beast that controls its position and possesses the ability to distort space. Need for popular science points. 5 billion. Although the exchange prices behind these divine beasts were outrageously high, it still made it difficult for Lin Hao to restrain them. He knows better than anyone the power of these divine beasts. The divine beast that controls the position of the official is polite to say it walks horizontally if it has one. The system is truly a system. As soon as Lin Hao thought about the possibility of even obtaining such a level of divine beast, he felt an indescribable excitement in his eyes. He seemed to have seen the beautiful scene of himself carrying a bunch of mythical beasts, arrogating over everyone and reaching the pinnacle of life. Although he doesn't have any tendencies to rule the world, he can still enjoy the pleasures of prosperity and wealth. At the very least, no matter what trouble you encounter, you can ensure your own safety. Okay. It's decided. Set a small goal and earn him 500 million first. Lin Hao's gaze gradually became firm. No matter what else, let's first focus on his 500 million science popularization points and switch to a divine beast to protect ourselves. As for how to handle this thing, the system introduction is also very clear. Just find someone to popularize the relevant knowledge of elves. Lin Hao's thinking instantly became active, thinking about feasible solutions. Go find people one by one to popularize science, like a salesperson. It can be possible, but the speed is undoubtedly a bit too slow. Too low efficiency, veto. Collaborate with the official team and directly gather everyone to clarify in one breath. The efficiency is quite high, but it is more likely that one will be sent to a mental hospital. Why not? Start a live broadcast. Lin Hao suddenly had a flash of inspiration, but soon frowned. Live streaming in the wilderness, while traveling and popularizing science, is probably the most reliable method at present, but the danger is a bit high. After all, although humans and elves can coexist peacefully, it does not mean that the latter is non-aggressive. Being alone makes it difficult to fully recover from any unexpected situation. This system is really good, it's not helpful at all, at least for now. Ding! The beginner gift pack has been distributed. Do you want to claim it? Just when Lin Hao was ready to roast in his heart, the previous nihilistic voice sounded again in his mind. Lin Hao widened his eyes. He just wanted to roast about this, but he actually has a gift package for beginners. If you don't react at all, will this system have to block this gift package? While secretly contemptuous in his heart, Lin Hao dared not delay and quickly chose to claim it. The next moment, an icon for a gift package appeared in his mind, with an option next to it. Whether to activate the beginner gift package, yes. As he confirmed, the gift package disappeared out of thin air and was replaced by a long string of prompts. Ding! Congratulations to the host for opening the beginner gift pack, earning 10,000 science popularization points, superpowers, and the Eye of Exploration 10,000 science popularization points, say more or less, say less or less. You can also exchange some things in the mall. But Lin Hao didn't pay attention, instead he directly turned his gaze to the two rewards behind him. Superpower. A magical unknown power that can perceive space and move instantly after fusion. Eye of Exploration. You can view detailed information about elves within a certain range. After seeing the introduction at the back, Lin Hao's eyes immediately showed a look of surprise. What does it mean to have a pillow when you fall asleep? He was just worried that if he were to travel alone and live stream, the risk would be too high. He didn't expect this problem to be solved so quickly. He is naturally familiar with the superpower that can be instantly moved after mastering it. In previous anime, Nazi possessed this ability. With this ability, he basically doesn't have to worry about his own safety. Can't fight, can't you still run? It can be said that this beginner gift package in the system has solved his major problem. Without any hesitation, Lin Hao directly chose to merge his superpowers. At the first moment of confirmation, an inexplicable warmth surged around him. P.S. Kneeling for data, kneeling for everything. Chapter 3. Wildlife Journey. Seeking data. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This translator is experiencing an error, please try another translator. Chapter 4. Does the anchor want money or life? April 5th. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Does the anchor want money or life? In the suburbs of Jianghai City, within the southern mountains and forests. Lin Hao, somewhat inexperienced, held the live streaming camera and glanced at his phone. After confirming that the live broadcast had already started, he coughed lightly. Because it was his first time doing this, although he had already registered for the live broadcast room, it only took him 10 minutes just now to start the broadcast. Fortunately, I finally figured it out. After glancing at the number of people in the live broadcast room, his eyelids suddenly trembled. Wow, I just started broadcasting now. Why are there over 1,000 people in the live broadcast room? It seems like we are still discussing something, very fiercely. The anchor must be a headline party. What nonsense. I am a serious and honest person. The anchor is here to ride the heat, right? Whether you're rubbing against the heat or not, you'll know later. If the anchor really dares to get close to Warcraft, they can arrange it directly. Sending over fire. Night little Tuanzi. Great, I remember your name now. Don't go missing if you have the ability later. After scanning the incessant barrage of debates, Lin Hao didn't waste any time. As he was about to pull the selfie stick far away, he exposed the trees behind him. Hello everyone, then. I am a new anchor. If you have nothing to do, you can click on subscribe in the upper right corner of the screen, follow, and don't get lost. After casually blurring the opening line based on the live broadcast he watched in his past life, he continued. We won't say much nonsense, let's get straight to the point. As you can see, I am currently located in the southern suburbs of Jianghai City, with the Moon Rim Forest ahead. Today, I will take you into the Moon Forest to get up close to Warcraft and also do some science popularization about Warcraft for everyone. With Lin Hao's words, after a brief silence, the live broadcast room suddenly erupted into countless barrage. Damn it. The anchor actually went live in the wilderness. Huanyue Forest. I really want to remember the name. Didn't there be news reports recently that many people were attacked by Warcraft there? I also remember this place, it seems like the news from the day before yesterday. The anchor is not dying anymore. This is not just for fun. The people in the live broadcast room were all suppressed by Lin Hao's words. Most people think that the former is just a headline party, and at its peak, it's just riding on the hype and adding some pictures of Warcraft to it. I didn't expect him to play so big. As soon as it started broadcasting, it was already in the wilderness and we also had to enter the lunar forest. What's the difference between this and seeking death? Watching the barrage of crazy screens scrolling in the live broadcast room, Lin Hao didn't care and just coughed lightly. Don't worry, I'm not a headline party. I'll definitely do what I say. Of course, everyone doesn't have to worry about my safety either. This is the first stop of our live broadcast, where although there are many Warcraft, most of them are not very aggressive, so there shouldn't be any danger. As soon as these words were spoken, the already explosive barrage surged again, almost covering the entire screen. Warcraft's aggressiveness is not strong. Shouldn't the anchor just connect with the world? I really don't want to die. I suggest changing the title. This is not science popularization, it's a typical case of asking for money but not for life. Warcraft is not very aggressive. Are you crazy or treating us like fools? Confirmed, this anchor's mind is not functioning properly. A series of bullet comments flashed past one after another. Without exception, they all complained about Lin Hao's insatiable desire for money and mental problems. Who would a serious person come to live stream Warcraft in the wilderness? Dare to enter the Moon Forest. The people in the live broadcast room who were still debating before quickly unified their views on Lin Hao, the new anchor. This is a lunatic. As for Lin Hao, after seeing the barrage on the screen, he didn't pay much attention, but after thinking for a while, he turned to say. Actually, I know why everyone is so worried. Although it's the first day of live streaming, the anchor is not the kind of person who uses his life to attract attention. The reason why I'm not afraid is not because I want to take the opportunity to make money, but in my opinion, of course, this is just my personal opinion. In fact, the so-called terrifying monsters in everyone's eyes may not be as dangerous as imagined. Lin Hao kept thinking about his wording and finally expressed his thoughts in a more gentle tone. I want to gradually dissolve people's fear and prejudice towards elves, which they call Warcraft. Due to the wrong first contact, there was a huge rift between humans and elves in this world. Although the elves only appeared for more than 3 months, it is unknown how much fighting has occurred between the two sides. In addition, the armies sent by various countries have repeatedly failed and suffered heavy damage, causing people in this world to cast a shadow over the elves, giving rise to fear and prejudice. For people in this world, those Warcraft beasts are extremely cruel, invading their homes with powerful power. Therefore, Lin Hao did not immediately talk about the peaceful nature of elves and their ability to coexist peacefully with humans. The feeling of resistance has already taken shape and cannot be resolved overnight. Being too impatient not only has the opposite effect, but also makes oneself a target of criticism. Of course, even though Lin Hao's words were quite tactful, they still sparked opposition from many people in the live broadcast room. It's a real hit. The anchor just got in touch with the world, and my 8-year-old nephew is not as naive as you. Even if the anchor reads the news more, they can't say such a thing. Didn't they know that the large-scale Warcraft attacks on humans only occurred in the southern coastal areas today? Do you know about Changhong City? It was destroyed by Warcraft half a month ago and is still in ruins today. I thought I was really not afraid of death. It turns out that ignorant people are fearless, and they actually think that Warcraft is not dangerous. Without exception, after Lin Hao's words were spoken, the live broadcast room once again exploded. Countless people have explained the cases they know. Warcraft harms people, destroys cities, and each one is clearly stated. Faced with this situation, Lin Hao did not continue to defend anything. Prejudice in the human heart is a big mountain. Once formed, no matter how you defend it, it is difficult to move it at all. The only way is to dissolve this emotion with practical actions. The discussion in the live broadcast room continued and did not subside due to Lin Hao's silence. Numerous barrage scrolls wildly on the screen. Perhaps due to the intense discussion, the number of viewers in the live broadcast room is also constantly increasing. However, after just a while of broadcasting, it has already reached as many as 3,000 people. Every audience member who has just entered the live broadcast room, after seeing the content discussed by others, also joins the discussion army one by one. What you're saying doesn't matter much. Let me tell you, the situation in China is pretty good. It's said that there was a small country whose economy had collapsed due to the Warcraft attack, and millions of people have become refugees. I really don't know what the anchor thinks. They actually think that Warcraft is not dangerous. More and more people are starting to talk about what they know about the evil deeds of Warcraft. One by one, it's terrifying. As for the authenticity of it, it is unknown. Lin Hao watched the discussion in the live broadcast room and didn't say much. He just adjusted the angle of the selfie stick and set off for the destination of this trip. Huanyue Forest. P.S. Kneeling for flowers, evaluating tickets, giving rewards. Chapter 5. Killing Mouse Little Dala. 5/. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This translator is experiencing an error, please try another translator. Chapter 6. First Science Popularization, Shocking Everyone. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Although this action is very subtle, it became very prominent due to Lin Hao's special close-up. Let everyone in the live broadcast room see clearly. The killer mouse has retreated. What's the situation? Did I get dizzy? Damn it, is this really a live broadcast? It's not a synthetic video. How could the killer mouse actually retreat? I can't believe it. Seeing the frenzy that has always been rumored, the killing mouse that hates humans has now taken the initiative to retreat, and everyone in the live broadcast room felt a bit uncomfortable for a moment. Numerous bullet comments are frantically scrolling through the screen. Lin Hao seemed to have anticipated these things a long time ago. After seeing little Lada take a few more steps back, he didn't act too hastily, but stopped. Nowadays, he is only 6 or 7 meters away from Lada. The legendary killer mouse was right in front of us, and the audience in the live broadcast room was clearly excited, causing a surge in popularity in a short period of time. Anchor Nguyen, without saying much, just charged the anchor for daring to be so close to the killer mouse, rocketed up. As an audience member with an imperial prefix in front of their name spoke up, the next moment, the live broadcast room began to become extremely popular. A brief yesterday sent out a super rocket *66 under his leadership. Many people also began to brush up on gifts. For a moment, various gift prompts flooded the entire screen of the live broadcast room. Cute Rabbit sends out a fluorescent stick *99 next door. Old Wang sends out a super rocket *1 please ask me, Mr. Lee, to send out a super rocket *1 rental company sends out treasure map *1 under the influence of a large number of gifts. The popularity in the live broadcast room has also begun to soar. Every user who was attracted by the gift prompt joined the Shockwave army after seeing the closed-up killer mouse, Little Lada, in the live broadcast interface. Damn it, what's the situation? We're live streaming Killing Rat here. However, I am uneducated, and I can walk around the world with just one sentence. The anchor is not going to die anymore. Who can tell me what happened? Almost every new viewer entering the live broadcast room will be completely frightened by the scene before them. In this situation, in just 1 minute, the actual number of people in the live broadcast room exceeded 10,000. And it is still rapidly increasing. Lin Hao raised his eyebrows, but didn't pay much attention. Instead, he flipped through the barrage. Does what the anchor said before seem true? Killing mice really seem a bit scary. That's not right either. If killer mice really take the initiative to avoid humans, why would they still cause so much damage? Yeah, its name is not for nothing. Could it be that the anchor used some special means? After being shocked, there is doubt. The name Murder Mouse has been on the news before. It was because it caused too many casualties that it was given this nickname. And the content that Lin Hao popularized undoubtedly differs a bit from their understanding. Faced with these questions, Lin Hao was clearly prepared and immediately explained. Lada, also known as the killer rat in many people's mouths, is indeed timid and cautious in nature. However, when faced with danger, he will also burst out with tremendous resistance. If everyone encounters Little Lada actively attacking humans or other creatures, it is mostly because it feels threatened. So, if you encounter this kind of warcraft in the future, as long as you don't actively attack it and give it a sense of threat, generally nothing will happen. In addition, let me give you a little more science. Unlike some other warcraft, most of Little Lada's attacks are achieved through physical means, and its most powerful and important weapon is its 2 front teeth. As he spoke, Lin Hao even gave a close-up of Little Lada's teeth. The large front teeth, which were disproportionate to their size, shimmered with cold light, giving off an extremely dangerous feeling. After his words were spoken, everyone in the live broadcast room also expressed agreement. I don't know if everything else is right or wrong, but the most powerful thing about this thing is indeed those 2 teeth. I heard that even military tanks have been bitten through, and the biting force is probably several tons. Can the anchor's closed-up not be so close? I always feel like it's staring at me, wanting to give me a bite. If we keep one of these things, I don't know how much efficiency the demolition team would have to improve. Under Lin Hao's scientific popularization, although the people in the live broadcast room were still skeptical, they were obviously not as afraid of Little Lada as before. Even the tone of the barrage became lighter, and some even started joking. And this is exactly the result that Lin Hao wants. Just as he was preparing to continue popularizing some of Little Lada's lifestyle habits, a series of system prompts suddenly appeared in his mind. Ding! The host successfully popularized Little Lada and obtained 2 science popularization points. Ding! The host successfully popularized Little Lada and obtained 1 science popularization point. The dense prompts lasted for a full minute before gradually stopping. And Lin Hao's science popularization points have also increased by over 9,000. Although it looked quite impressive, it made him roll his eyes uncontrollably. Good guy, after all my busy work, I didn't even earn 10,000 science popularization points in the end. You know, his goal is 500 million science popularization points. Can't we earn money for a long time? However, this disappointment did not last too long, and after some consideration, Lin Hao was relieved. Firstly, the number of people in the live broadcast room is not very high, and now it has just surpassed 10,000. If we could have hundreds of thousands of viewers like those top streamers, the profits would be much better. Moreover, as I have just started popularizing science, I don't have much authority to speak of. From the barrage, it can be seen that most of the audience in the live broadcast room are still in a state of half belief and half doubt. That's why everyone's contribution to popular science is pitiful, with only 3 points at most, mostly hovering between 1 or 2 points. After waiting for a long time for science popularization, everyone will start to trust their own science popularization, and the situation will definitely improve. Anyway, this is a good start. Although there are not as many popular science points as imagined, as long as there are gains, it indicates that people in this world can still more or less accept as popular science. This can be seen simply from the changes in the names of some people on the barrage. At first, almost everyone was calling out killing rats one by one, but after his popularization, some people began to call him Little Lada. As long as it's not a lack of salt and oil, I have plenty of opportunities to slowly change people's perspectives. Although this process may take some time, at least prove that you are not working hard in vain. With this idea in mind, Lin Hao's fighting spirit also increased significantly. As Dala ahead slipped into the bushes and disappeared, Lin Hao did not linger here anymore, but instead continued to head towards the depths of the lunar forest. Chapter 7. Official Follow. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Official Follow. At the same time, in a military base in the southern part of Huaxia, a middle-aged man with a Chinese-style face and slightly dark skin was sitting in his seat, one hand resting on the table and tapping rhythmically with his index finger. In front of him is a subordinate reporting on the situation. Report to the leader. According to the news just received from the front armed forces, 23 out of the 100-person squad we sent out to expel the killer rat were seriously injured and have been sent to the emergency department for treatment. In addition, 30.6 people suffered minor injuries. The 2 accompanying tanks were heavily damaged and are no longer able to move. The captain of the armed forces sent a request for help, hoping that we can send more manpower. With their current numbers and equipment, they are unable to form a combat force to crush and achieve effective expulsion. After speaking in one breath, the soldier in charge of reporting then turned his gaze to the man in his seat. The latter's expression at this moment was extremely solemn, even the frequency of his index finger tapping on the table had increased significantly, indicating that he was clearly thinking. The middle-aged man, named Chen Guomin, is the highest leader of this military base and has commanded his subordinate troops to fight against the killing rat dozens of times. Therefore, he is very aware of the horror of killing mice. Those monster-like mice, although small in size, have astonishing power. Even tanks that intentionally increase their armor thickness cannot withstand their terrifying front teeth. He already knew this when he dispatched the armed forces. What he didn't expect was that the gap between the 2 sides would be so huge. Chen Guomin rubbed his eyebrows with some headache, and then suddenly looked up at the soldier reporting as if he remembered something. By the way, how is the research progress on Warcraft in the Research Institute? Have you found any weaknesses or similar issues? It's not that he's unwilling to mobilize more forces to assist, but rather that there aren't many available personnel in the military base today. Due to the multiple large-scale incidents of Warcraft injuring people in the southern coastal area, he dispatched a large number of troops. Although it is also important to expel killer rats and prevent them from approaching nearby towns, it is now difficult to deploy much more combat power. Otherwise, the base would be completely empty. At present, he can only hope for any new discoveries from the Research Institute to alleviate their pressure. However, upon hearing his words, the soldier in charge of reporting the news only shook his head. Seeing this, Chen Guomin's face couldn't help but look a bit ugly. After a while, as if he had made some decision, his gaze gradually became cold. Even if we don't realize it, we can't let those guys enter crowded areas even if we use the number of people to stack them. Contact the troops stationed near Yangshu town and have them. Halfway through Chen Guomin's words, a rapid sound of footsteps suddenly emerged. A soldier hurriedly entered the office. Report. Report. Perhaps due to being too hasty, the soldier's voice even became somewhat breathless. Chen Guomin immediately frowned. What's going on in a panic? You are a soldier, you must remain calm at all times, do you know? Report. Got it. The soldier quickly straightened his body and saluted. Seeing this behind the scenes, Chen Guomin's expression softened slightly. Alright, come on, what's going on? Report to the leader, we have just made a significant discovery about the killer rat. What? Almost as soon as the words fell, Chen Guomin slammed the table and stood up, his face filled with uncontrollable joy. Those guys from the research institute finally came in handy. What did they say? His voice carried a hint of impatience. After all, the biggest trouble right now is dealing with the problem of killer rats. If we can provide some useful information, it will undoubtedly greatly reduce their pressure. However, upon hearing his words, the soldier who had just entered was momentarily stunned and quickly shook his head. It's not a discovery from the Research Institute, it's from an online anchor of a science popularization warcraft. Internet anchor. Science popularization of Warcraft. Now, it was Chen Guomin's turn to be stunned. The soldier who reported this matter was quite witty and immediately took out his laptop. On the screen, it was the live broadcast replay of Lin Hao's previous science popularization of Little Lada. Chen Guomin didn't say much, just watched quietly with a heart full of doubts. Killing mouse. Called Little Lada. It's naturally timid and afraid of life, and it still hides from humans. Upon hearing Lin Hao's explanation in the video, Chen Guomin immediately frowned. But when he saw Lin Hao encounter the legendary killer mouse, he not only did not choose to escape at the first time, but also took the initiative to move forward and backward, and his brow furrowed even tighter. However, due to issues with his own cultivation, he didn't say much and just watched quietly. Until the killing mouse with a close dot up on the screen took a few steps back. How could this be possible? At the moment when the killer rat retreated, even Chen Guomin's heart couldn't help but widen his eyes, filled with an incredulous expression. Are you joking? Their well-equipped troops suffered heavy losses, and even the tank army, known as the Steel Torrent, could not resist the killing rat. At this moment, they actually took the initiative to retreat. And yet the other person is still just alone. Has the authenticity of this video been verified? Chen Guomin's gaze suddenly became sharp, looking at the soldier who reported the matter. The latter immediately nodded heavily. We have contacted the official Do Sha live streaming platform, and what you just saw was all live streaming, so we can basically confirm the authenticity. Upon hearing these words, the corners of Chen Guomin's eyes twitched violently twice. As the person in charge of this military base, he has been dealing with the issue of Warcraft, so he knows much more about killing mice who have fought multiple times than ordinary people. Over the past few months, they have paid a considerable price to deal with these difficult guys. More than 10 tanks were destroyed alone. Now someone is actually telling themselves that this type of Warcraft is not very aggressive. Chen Guomin frowned and began to reminisce carefully about the battle against the killer rat in the past. After a moment, his expression became strange. If you don't think about it carefully, it's not a big deal. Now, after careful consideration, it seems that the recent confrontation with the killer mouse is really caused by their proactive expulsion to avoid the killer mouse from approaching crowded areas. The latter has never really taken the initiative to attack. Is it difficult what the science popularization anchor said is true? Thinking of this, Chen Guomin's expression suddenly became complicated. No matter how you look at it, it sounds a bit unbelievable. After hesitating for a long time and weighing the pros and cons in his mind, he finally turned to the soldier who had previously been ordered. Let the members of the armed forces withdraw first. In addition, notify the troops near Yangshu town to disperse and deploy defenses, and be prepared to resist warcraft. Note that if the killing mouse does not initiate an attack, it is not allowed to act recklessly. After speaking, he stood up and looked at the soldier who reported the news of the killing rat. Go to the control room and move out the live broadcast room of the Science Popularization anchor you just mentioned. I want to see his live broadcast right away. Kneeling for data, kneeling for everything. Chapter 8. Surprise Little Fire Dragon. Seeking support. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. Surprise Little Fire Dragon. Within the Lunar Forest. Lin Hao is still moving deeper, and the live broadcast is still ongoing. As he continued to deepen, the trees and shrubs around him became increasingly dense. Fortunately, due to some gaps between the branches and leaves, some of the sunlight was able to shine in, preventing the light in the depths of the forest from dimming as usual. Lin Hao carefully observed the surroundings while slowly moving forward. Although he has the superpower to be close to him and can move and slip away at any time without worrying too much about his own safety, necessary vigilance is still necessary. After all, it's a live broadcast now. At the very least, when encountering danger, he needs sufficient time to shut down the live broadcast first. If someone discovers that they have teleportation ability, it will attract many unnecessary troubles. This is not what he wants to see. Many viewers in the live broadcast room naturally did not understand what he was thinking. Most of them are still immersed in the shock of Lin Hao scaring off little Lada before. Of course, there are also a small number of people who are seriously discussing the content of Lin Hao's science popularization, and even begin to speculate about the warcraft he may encounter next. If I remember correctly, when it was reported in the news before, it seemed like there were devil bees appearing in the forest around the moon. I only know that there seems to be a terrifying monster in this forest, which is said to have infinite power, even a truck can overturn it. The anchor is too brave to be afraid at all. Looking at Lin Hao, who remained expressionless on the live broadcast screen, many viewers were somewhat surprised. In their eyes, the place is like a sea of fire and knives, while the latter feels like strolling through their own backyard. In addition, with his performance in front of Lada, many people directly labeled him as not afraid of death, while constantly educating the newcomers who have just entered this live broadcast room. For a moment, even if Lin Hao did not interact, the entire live broadcast room appeared quite lively. Until Lin Hao suddenly stopped and aimed the camera in one direction. Don't worry about returning or not, but since entering the lunar forest, he has been vigilant and has been very meticulous in observing the surroundings. In the direction he is currently paying attention to, there is a figure. Although the figure looked extremely blurry and indistinguishable due to distance, it was basically certain that I had encountered an elf again. Although he didn't say much, everyone in the live broadcast room quickly felt something unusual. What did the anchor discover? Did you encounter Warcraft again? Being there, it's great, I'm already starting to get nervous. Good guy, what kind of vision does the anchor have? If it weren't for the close-up shots, I wouldn't be able to tell. There seems to be a Warcraft over there. Is it just the devils being mentioned in the news? Or something else? The anchor should be more careful. The already lively live broadcast room exploded with the appearance of that figure, and the number of bullet comments skyrocketed inexplicably. Seeing that everyone seemed quite interested, a smile appeared on the corner of Lin Hao's mouth. What kind of Warcraft is it? Let's go and see. As he spoke, Lin Hao immediately raised his camera and slowly leaned towards that direction. Seeing him so decisive, the atmosphere in the live broadcast room became even hotter. Good guy, just say it and go ahead. This anchor is capable. With Warcraft, he is true. You're too brave, aren't you really afraid of death? Without further ado, I'll first brush a blood bottle to show my respect. Many people were shocked by Lin Hao's behavior of rushing towards Warcraft without saying a word. Of course, there are also some concerns about this. It's better for the anchor to be careful, as it can be difficult to deal with highly aggressive Warcraft. Isn't it a bit reckless to go straight over? Isn't this a gift for someone's head? Sure, this is the Extreme Challenge live broadcast room. Looking at the various barrage scrolling across the screen, Lin Hao ignored it and silently touched the figure not far away. As the distance drew in, he finally saw the shape of the figure clearly. That is a creature that bears some resemblance to dinosaurs, with an orange body all around and a height of just over half a meter. The most peculiar thing is that there is a burning flame at its tail. Is this Little Fire Dragon? After seeing this figure clearly, Lin Hao's eyes couldn't help but show a hint of surprise. As one of the 3 royal families, Little Fire Dragon is a rather rare elf. He didn't expect to encounter it in this lunar forest. While he recognized the Little Fire Dragon, many viewers in the live broadcast room also saw the latter's appearance. What kind of Warcraft is this? It seems like I've never seen it before. I haven't seen it either. I don't think I've been on the news before. Damn it, did the anchor discover a new type of Warcraft? What kind of luck is this? For a moment, the barrage was filled with various voices of doubt. Unlike the previous killer mouse, most people have seen it on TV due to its exposure to the news, and now the thing in front of them is different. Of course, there are also many knowledgeable people in the live broadcast room. Although the vast majority of people have never seen the Little Fire Dragon, there is also an audience member named Guardian, who recognizes it. This is not a new Warcraft. Its name is Fire Warcraft and it appeared a long time ago. Its strength is very strong. This type of Fire Warcraft can spit out extremely hot flames, and it is said that even steel can melt, making it a highly dangerous type of Warcraft. Some troops have encountered this type of Warcraft before, and even tanks have been melted. As some people in the live broadcast room started popularizing science, the rest of them were startled by these words. Is it true or false that this little thing can spew fire? Such a cute Warcraft. The level of danger shouldn't be that exaggerated, right? It's best not to be deceived by the appearance of this Warcraft. The anchor should maintain a certain distance, otherwise it will really lead to death. In surprise, there were also many people who did not forget to give advice. Lin Hao naturally ignored this sentence and then turned his attention to the barrage of popular science. It seems that everyone is not completely ignorant of this Warcraft. As some viewers have said, this type of Warcraft does have the ability to breathe fire. The flames they emit are extremely hot and cannot be touched easily, otherwise it can be very dangerous. But one thing is not right, this type of Warcraft is generally not as dangerous as people imagine. As he spoke, Lin Hao immediately adjusted the camera angle and gave Little Fire Dragon a close up. Taking advantage of this opportunity, I will give everyone a good science popularization. P.S. Kneeling for data. Chapter 9. Big Flip, Audiences Who Have Been Cute Flipped. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Big Flip, Audiences Who Have Been Cute Flipped. As the words fell, Lin Hao immediately coughed lightly and then continued speaking. The Warcraft you see in front of you is not actually called a Fire Warcraft. Its real name is Little Fire Dragon, and it is a type of fire attribute elf with a natural fear of water. As you can see, the biggest feature of the Little Fire Dragon is the flame on its tail. When it is born, this flame will accompany it. It is said that when this flame goes out, it means that the little dragon's life has come to an end. By the way, as for the issue of the danger level of the Little Fire Dragon that everyone is most concerned about. As Lin Hao spoke, he took out an apple from his backpack and placed it in his hand. In fact, among their families, the Little Fire Dragon has the gentlest temperament. Although there may be changes after evolution, there is basically no need to worry too much at the current stage. Unless actively attacking it, one will not be subject to its hostility. Seemingly to prove his words, Lin Hao immediately held an apple and walked slowly towards the nearby little fire dragon. Seeing this scene, everyone in the live broadcast room was immediately startled by his bold behavior. Is there really something that this anchor can't bear to think of? If he encounters a warcraft, he dares to step up and not be afraid of death. It's better to remain calm. This is not the killer rat we encountered earlier. If a flame were to burst out, it would really kill us. I really don't care if I want money. Whose subordinate is this person? Surprisingly, he is so brave. I've seen many shameless anchors, but I've seen them for the first time. At this moment, not only the audience in the live broadcast room, but also Chen Guomin, who was also watching the live broadcast and located in the military base, frowned. This kid really doesn't want to live anymore. So why are warcraft like the killer mice he encountered before? He has watched the live broadcast replay of Lin Hao encountering a killer mouse. What he didn't expect was that the latter had such great courage, daring to approach any warcraft like this. In his opinion, this is simply a gamble on his own life. Still the kind that will lose sooner or later. However, although it was a bit difficult to understand, everyone in the live broadcast room couldn't help but raise their hearts to their throats as they saw Lin Hao getting closer and closer to Little Fire Dragon. Lin Hao's movements are very slow. In order to prevent Little Fire Dragon from feeling aggressive and becoming wary of him, he took every step carefully without making any sound. As he kept getting closer, the latter also noticed his presence. Little Fire Dragon tilted his head and blinked his big eyes, looking at Lin Hao, who was constantly approaching him with a curious expression in his eyes. After looking up and down, its gaze quickly fell on the apple in Lin Hao's hand. Perhaps because he wanted this apple, or perhaps because Lin Hao did not show any danger, Little Fire Dragon did not show any aversion towards the latter's approach. Because of this, in no time, Lin Hao smoothly arrived in front of the latter. He didn't get too close, but stopped at a distance of 1 meter and then handed out the apple in his hand. Xiahulong tilted his head again, glanced at Lin Hao, and then at the apple, appearing extremely silly and cute. Let's eat. Lin Hao's mouth curved with a smile, and he sent the apple in his hand forward. It seemed that he understood his meaning. Under the gaze of countless pairs of eyes in the live broadcast room, Little Fire Dragon surprisingly extended its fleshy paws and took the apple. After sniffing and sniffing, it opened its mouth wide and started eating the apple with a click. Wokeo, did you really not attack the anchor? My mom, is that too silly and cute? Is this really the kind of terrifying fire warcraft you're talking about? Anchor Bully Plath actually used apples to lure warcraft. Wow. It's so cute. I paid for the apple money. Can the anchor feed a few more? The kind that's full. In addition to the old men, there are obviously many girls present in Lin Hao's live broadcast room. After seeing the silly and cute movements of Little Fire Dragon, everyone couldn't help but burst out and began to urge Lin Hao to feed more. Some even threatened to use the barrier to ensure that he was fully managed. 10 pounds of apples sent out on a yacht in the live broadcast room *1, hey, it's about to deliver a bleeding bottle in the live broadcast room *66, next, feed out the super rocket *1 in the live broadcast room. Under the stimulation of Xiahulong's silly and cute expression, the live broadcast room suddenly began to display GIFs on the screen. Lin Hao also didn't expect that his simple move to lower Little Fire Dragon's guard would cause such a big reaction. However, it is impossible to continue feeding apples. He didn't prepare much in his bag. If I feed all of this to Little Fire Dragon, wouldn't I have to drink the northwest wind myself? However, with so many GIFs showcased in the live broadcast room, it's not good to express that there are no GIFs at all. At least we need to shift everyone's attention. As Lin Hao watched the little dragon happily eating while holding an apple, his heart immediately moved and he slowly reached out with a hand to touch the dragon's head. Woo-woo. Perhaps he was bribed by this apple, and with Lin Hao showing no hostility from beginning to end, little fire dragon not only did not resist, but even affectionately rubbed his hand. After seeing this scene, Lin Hao's live broadcast room was instantly overwhelmed by countless barrage. Beast, it's just a beast. Let go of that fire demon. No, it's a little fire dragon, he's mine. Is the anchor in the Huanyue forest? It's not too late now, I also want to touch little fire dragon. Damn it, is this really a Warcraft? My family's kittens are not as gentle. Have you ever seen someone who masturbates cats and dogs? Should the host who masturbates Warcraft like this be the first one? I thought it was okay not to actively attack the anchor, but I still touched it. Oh my god, I love you. The anchor, please give me an address. I'll go and wrap up the fruit shop at the entrance now. This cute Warcraft must be taken care of. It's so cute, I really want to raise one. Watching little fire dragon perform like this, everyone in the live broadcast room changed their previous attitude. From warning Lin Hao to be careful of his comfort, to asking him to feed more. How could this fire Warcraft be so gentle? Not to mention the average audience, even Chen Guomin, who was watching live broadcasts at the military base, was stunned. Is this really the fire Warcraft he knows? When his subordinates encountered the fire Warcraft, over 200 soldiers, armed to the teeth, suffered heavy losses. Where is there such gentleness as I see now? Not to mention being touched, anyone who gets closer and waits for them is a catastrophic disaster. No, this fire Warcraft seems a bit different from those. Chen Guomin suddenly raised his eyebrows as he watched the scene on the live broadcast. He seemed to have thought of the problem. The fire Warcraft they encountered before was obviously larger in size than the one Lin Hao encountered. P.S. I feel like the 588 VIP reward from Fei Tong Tong and the monthly ticket support from the original Intention Big Shot. Thank you very much. Chapter 10. The Riot Caused by Evolution. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. The Riot Caused by Evolution. As he mentioned earlier, if there is still a family of fire Warcraft, then perhaps we are not encountering the same species. He remembered the scene when he met the fire Warcraft. The temperament of that fire Warcraft is extremely cruel, and its attacks are even more fierce. The terrifying flames almost turned the place where the battle took place into a human purgatory. After discovering no enemy, even though he had already commanded the troops to evacuate, the fire demon still relentlessly chased them for a long time. With this in mind, Chen Guomin became even more certain of his speculation. But for safety reasons, he still decided to verify it. As for the method of verification, naturally it is to ask the anchor, which is Lin Hao. At his signal, the person in charge of operation immediately opened an emperor in Lin Hao's live broadcast room, and sent out several super fires before raising their own question. Anchor, what are the differences between the members of the little fire dragon family you mentioned? Although this operation may seem redundant, the actual effect is very good. Among countless bullet comments, the prefix Emperor made his problem very prominent, and due to the fact that he had just sent a super rocket, Lin Hao also noticed this problem at the first time. The family of little fire dragon. He raised an eyebrow. This question actually opened the way for his next science popularization. After preparing some wording in his heart, Lin Hao coughed lightly and spoke. That's a good question. However, before I teach you about the family of little fire dragon, I need to first share a concept with you. Evolution. In fact, not only little fire dragons, but most Warcraft can evolve. After a brief silence, the entire live broadcast room erupted into countless shocked voices as soon as these words were spoken. What? Will Warcraft still evolve? Anchor, I advise you to be kind. Spreading rumors can lead to imprisonment. These monsters are already incredibly powerful. If they can really evolve, how can they deal with them? That's it. If it's really like the anchor said, wouldn't we have no resistance at all? After hearing the word evolution, most people in the live broadcast room became somewhat frightened. In the current situation alone, humans have already found it extremely difficult to deal with those monsters. The terrifying speed and power, combined with various special abilities of spraying and discharging flames, make it difficult for even well-equipped and well-trained military units to reap much benefits. Throughout history, humanity has been at an absolute disadvantage. If Warcraft could still evolve, they wouldn't even have the need to fight. The power of both sides is not at the same level. Even though there are many people in the live broadcast room who are still curious about what the evolved Warcraft looks like, the vast majority of people are considering the terrifying power that Warcraft may possess after evolution. That means a bigger disaster. Lin Hao naturally noticed this and immediately continued. I can understand everyone's thoughts, but there's no need to worry so much. Take the little fire dragon we see now as an example. Although the little fire dragon will become stronger after evolution and its personality will not be as gentle as it is now, it is only for unfamiliar beings. For familiar people and things, even after evolution, the little fire dragon is still very friendly. As he spoke, Lin Hao did not forget the previous question about the barrage and continued. As for the members of the little fire dragon family that I mentioned earlier, it is actually its evolutionary form. When it first evolved, the little fire dragon would become a fire dinosaur, with little change in appearance, but with a larger body size and significantly enhanced strength. If it were for the second evolution, it would be the final form of the little fire dragon, the Spitfire dragon. Regarding the science popularization of the Spitfire dragon, let's not waste everyone's time here for now. We can discuss it if there is a chance in the future. Lin Hao took the opportunity to sell a trick. The result of playing tricks is naturally a sea of disdain in the live broadcast room. The agreed-upon science popularization live broadcast, you actually said half of it and didn't say anything. Isn't this just hanging our stomachs? On behalf of everyone in the live broadcast room, I strongly condemn this behavior. Can little fire dragon, fire dinosaur, Spitfire dragon actually evolve twice? Fortunately, the anchor only encountered the most basic little fire dragon. If it were a Spitfire dragon, wouldn't it be ruined? Tisk tsk, I really don't know how strong the final form of Warcraft will be. In addition to being despised, many people in the live broadcast room also exclaimed. After all, it was the first time they knew about the evolution of Warcraft. In fact, it's not just them. Even the senior military officials inside the military base are learning this information for the first time. Warcraft. Can it still evolve? As the highest person in charge here, Chen Guomin lightly tapped the table with his index finger, revealing a pensive expression. After Lin Hao's words, he gradually understood. It is obvious that the larger fire Warcraft they encountered earlier should be the evolutionary form of the little fire dragon in the live broadcast footage. Although somewhat similar in appearance, their strength is much stronger and their personality is more aggressive and aggressive. Thinking of this, he recalled what Lin Hao initially said about the natural fear of water in Fire Warcraft. In fact, if you think about it carefully, it is reasonable for a Warcraft with a flame on its tail to be afraid of water. But before that, they had always been trapped in a thinking misconception, always thinking that to deal with these powerful Warcraft, they must use modern powerful weapons to kill them. I have never thought about such a simple aspect before. Everyone. Chen Guomin raised his head and glanced at the other high-rise buildings gathered in the central control room. How credible do you think what this anchor said before is? This. Everyone immediately looked at each other. After a while, someone stood up and said. Although we currently do not have specific information about this person, based on his previous popular science information, he is basically right and also in line with the information we have. So, although we cannot blindly believe the information he disclosed, we should also be able to adopt some of it. Okay. Upon hearing these words, Chen Guomin immediately nodded. This is also his current idea. I cannot believe everything, but I can try it as a breakthrough point. Thinking of this, Chen Guomin immediately looked at a deputy beside him. Notify the troops stationed in the fire warcraft activity area to immediately prepare high-pressure water guns and other equipment to deal with fire warcraft. Regardless of the final outcome, report the combat results as soon as possible. Yes. The deputy straightened his body and saluted. Just as he was about to leave, Chen Guomin's voice came out again. By the way, if the effect is significant, tell them not to kill those fire warcraft beasts yet, just focus on controlling them. After explaining this sentence, Chen Guomin once again turned his gaze to the live broadcast screen ahead, his hands crossed, revealing a look of contemplation. P.S. Thank you for the monthly ticket support from Brian01. I feel like the monthly ticket from Fei Tong Tong. Looking for data, I hope that those who like this book can vote for a free flower review. Thank you very much.